of the Rockford Board of Education to order at 7:11. I would like to apologize. We were supposed to start at 7, and we were just busy. Most of you probably know we're in closed session from 5 o'clock until we come up here, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others. So thank you for your patience. We'll now take the roll, please.
Ms. Pearson?
Present.
Mr. Rollins?
Here.
Ms. Mohammed? Mrs. McCulloch?
Here.
Mr. Siegel?
Here.
Mr. Connor? Ms. Stanford?
Here.
With 5 present, 2 absent, we have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll take a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. As we start each board meeting, it bears reminding that the mission of the Rockford Public Schools is to collaboratively engage all students in a first-class education for a changing world. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank Connor Childers. He works behind the scenes to produce the board's broadcast via YouTube live stream and Comcast Channel 20. I would also like to welcome the Superintendent Student Advisory Council representative, Ben Bathke from East High School, who must not be participating in sports tonight. We're glad to see you. Thank you for being here. Ben's dad's an amazing teacher, and it's nice to see you. We'll now recognize and celebrate outstanding contributions of our students and staff. Mr. Dotson, do we have that?
We do, but I am going to steal Mr. Earl Dotson Jr.'s thunder for tonight. This will be my last night of recognitions as part of the Internal-External Stakeholder Committee, which will be passed on to Ms. Denise Pearson and Ms. Cameron Mohammed. So we are going to recognize one of my favorite groups of students, bowlers. If you are a middle school bowler, please come to the front of the room to be recognized. Four students and 1 team from Rockford Public Schools advanced to compete at the IESA State Bowling Tournament in April. In girls bowling, Flynn Middle School 7th grader Abby Wilkerson had the highest finish from Rockford in 22nd place. The other girls qualifier is Thurgood Marshall School 5th grader Isabella McCoy, one of the youngest competitors in the whole tournament. Congratulations. In boys bowling, Lucas Marinelli, an 8th grader at West Middle School, had the highest finish from Rockford in 11th place. Thurgood Marshall School 8th grader Zachary Spates also qualified to compete in individual play. Flynn Middle School's entire team qualified for the state tournament. The team is only losing 1 student, 8th grader Taven Gibbs, and we're looking forward to next season. Students, we would love for you to introduce yourselves, so please step up to the mic and tell us your name, the school, and your grade.
Hi, I'm Isabella, and I'm in 5th grade from Thurgood Marshall Middle School.
Hello, I am Zachary Spates. I'm 8th grade, and I go to Marshall Middle School.
Hello, I'm John Bateman. I'm from Flynn Middle School.
I'm Evan, and I'm from Flynn Middle School.
All right. By the way, those were the new board shout-out pins that Dr. Jarrett gave you for your achievement. Well done, everybody. And I want to thank the coaches, the teachers, family, and friends, and all who have supported these bowlers. Well done, y'all. Earlier this month, we celebrated students from Auburn and Guilford High Schools for their recognition as National Scholastic Art and Writing Award winners. Tonight, we're excited to introduce Jefferson High School students for this prestigious recognition. If you were one of those students, please make your way to the front of the room. The National Scholastic Art and Writing Awards program was developed to establish a structure for encouraging outside-the-box thinkers and creators. Entries are selected for awards without knowledge of the student's gender, age, ethnicity, or hometown by some of the foremost leaders in the visual and literary arts. Jurors look for works that exemplify the award's core values, originality, technical skill, and the emergence of a personal voice or vision. Students, if you could please step up to the mic and give us your name and your grade.
Hello, I'm Emma Carmona, and I'm a senior.
Hello, I'm Lisbeth Medina, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Giovanni Ruiz, and I'm a senior.
I'm Uriel Fernandez, and I am also a senior.
You guys don't have to come back to the mic, but what are you doing next year? Are you guys, you're all seniors. Schools? Yeah, just tell us. Yes! Okay. Excellent. Oh my gosh, 3 out of 4? Okay, awesome. So because we didn't have them at the mic for anybody listening at home, we have 1 going to Rock Valley College, 3 going to NIU via the Rockford Promise program. So awesome.
Yeah, outstanding work, you guys. Good work.
And it's nice to see your administrators here with you and supporting.
All right. The National Merit Scholarship Corporation was established in 1955 and has recognized more than 3 million students and provided some 451,000 scholarships worth more than $1.8 billion. Yeah, billion. In Rockford, our students have received some of that financial support to attend prestigious colleges and universities and pursue successful careers. This year, 2 Auburn High School students were named semifinalists for the National Merit Scholarship Award. Alexander Ferry and Paranjay Gupta, could you please make your way to the front of the room? Alex and Jay were named semifinalists in September in a candidate pool representing less than 1% of high school seniors across the country. Scholarship winners are selected for their skills, accomplishments, and potential for success in rigorous college studies. Alex and Jay are seniors in the Gifted Academy at Auburn. They were named finalists in February for the scholarship award. This month, Jay was named a National Merit Scholarship winner. Jay will receive the prestigious $2,500 National Merit Scholarship Award and designation as a Merit Scholar. You guys, I guess I already introduced you, so I'm not going to make you do that again. But if you could just let us know what your plans are for after this year.
I'm going to be on a pre-med track majoring in biological sciences at Northwestern this fall.
Wow.
I'll be at UIC's Guaranteed Medical Program this fall.
All right. Congratulations to both Alex and Jay, and congratulations to their families, teachers, and staff for this incredible recognition and their achievement. Now we'd like to recognize Flynn Middle School teacher Christina Koblash. Ms. Koblash, could you please come to the front of the room? Ms. Koblash teaches physical education at Flynn and has spent her 10-year teaching career at Flynn. She is also currently the Flynn's athletic director and district middle school athletic director. Assistant Principal Cindy Sims called her a natural leader and coach, and dependable and professional for students, staff, and even other coaches. Earlier this month, Ms. Koblosh played a critical role supporting a student who had a medical emergency. The student is okay, in part thanks to Ms. Koblosh and her quick actions and assistance. Ms. Sims, the Flynn AP who wanted to recognize Ms. Koblosh, told Dr. Jarrett, "I have always said I was a better person for knowing Chrissy. Her work ethic and determination to always put our students first has always been evident, but now I can say that she is a hero. I hope more people get an opportunity to know Chrissy and the amazing work that she does." Thank you, Ms. Koblosh, for your consistent dedication to your students, living the district's values, and continuing to put students first. And I will give you back the floor, Ms. McCulloch.
Our next item on the agenda is celebrating Rockford Public Schools, and we have Gregory Elementary School here today to share their mindfulness and yoga journey. Why don't we give a moment for the room while you guys get set up? Actually, oh, sure.
Everyone went, what? So I'm going to start.
Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Thank you, parents, educators, administrators, everyone who came to support your students.
And then is Connor going to give me the clicker? Does he know? There it is. We'll use this one. For the activity, this might be better. Good evening, everyone. We are from Gregory Elementary School. My name is Christine Leiter. I'm the principal at Gregory. I've been in RPS for 17 years, and this is my 6th year as principal at Gregory. I transitioned from March when it became Montessori. In the past 6 years, we've gone through a lot of changes at Gregory, including adding the bilingual program, 100 additional students. We've had zone changes and student population and demographic changes. Starting in 2017, I led a lot of professional development when I started there to change our growth mindset with our student population changes, to make sure all of our staff understood where our students were coming from. So we did a lot of that with our staff to support all students, and then we brought it down to the students to keep, our goal is to keep all of our students in class. We implemented the zones of regulation, which is a curriculum designed to foster self-regulation and emotional control. The staff and myself, when we have students that are kind of in the red zone, we use these different strategies to bring them back down to the green zone, which can include deep breaths, drinks of water, fidget toys. They can color or draw. They can read a book. They can talk to a friend. They can think of someone they love. They can stretch, or they can practice yoga. This kind of gives you the overall zones of regulation where our students can be. If they're in the red zone, our goal is to get them back into the green zone, and we use those strategies to get them back in the green zone. And a lot of times recently, students help each other to get each other back in the green zone. Andrea Holm is our art teacher. She is completing her 31st year in the district, and she has been practicing yoga for over 20 years. So I'm gonna let her take control because she's kind of doing this. So she's going to take a seat and she's going to let us know how students are chosen for our yoga class on Thursday mornings.
Okay, so when I do it, can I face these guys?
You can.
Or like be over there?
The TV's over there, so I'll scoot you back. Okay. All right. And I will do that. All right. It's all you.
Okay. Am I close enough? Yeah. Okay. So I'm Andrea Holm. Like Christine said, I've been teaching art. I did SPED and I've done regular ed. I've been teaching for a long time, seen a lot of different kids over the years, especially in the past few years. I've noticed a lot of kids in trauma. They come to school unfed, they're tired, something's been going on at home, they're not safe. So we can't do anything until we address that. And when you're in trauma, your cerebral cortex is not communicating with your amygdala. Your amygdala is your emotional center. So you're constantly in a state of fight or flight. So what we do with breathing, it's scientifically proven that when you take deep breaths and you do a hold, then you clear the space for the cortex to communicate with the amygdala. It's a scientific thing. So I teach the kids 3-part breathing, and then we do lots of movement. We used to do tapping, but then with the mask, I kind of had to adapt it. So I'm going to start just like you guys were my kids. You come in, there's soft music. I usually play spa music. The lights are dim. I have different lights on, low-key lights. And so they come in, they know to sit down, and then they immediately start like that, and we do a 5 count. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we stretch our fingers, and while they're doing the movements, I want them to be aware of what muscles they're using, check in with their heart rate, check in with their tummies, their shoulders, and if there's anything that's bothering them, or any sore or anything like that, you breathe into it. And so this one is my favorite. We put pressure on our knees, and I always tell the kids, it's like when you're having a bad dream, and your mom comes in, and she rubs your back, and you feel better. So you can do this anytime during the day, and I do see kids doing this a lot. So then another thing that we do is our breathing then. So we breathe in, we breathe with movement. So we're mindful of, we're not just on autopilot. The great thing about breath is that it's involuntary and it's voluntary. So we kind of tap into the voluntary. So we breathe in and up. Breathe out. We do a series of that. And we let our arms hang down like they're clothes on a hanger. And we belly breathe, so we fill in our belly with breath, and we hold, and we let it go. And then we do a side to side, breathing the same way, inhaling, exhaling. And then we do some rounds. And there's always a kid that does that. So I tell them, you are literally shaking your brain up, and you are not going to get calm that way. And then we always counter. And then we do our shoulder rounds, and we reach for the ceiling, for the floor, as far as we can. Thank you. And then we would do a counter. So we do that. And then my favorite thing, I think it's glucose in the body. When you're stressed, you create some glucose in the body, and that's why you get achy. You just feel, I call them the yucks. So this is their favorite thing. So I'm not sure what organs they are, but when you do a spinal twist, you're literally twisting out, you're squeezing out the spare glucose. It's just like a towel, right? A wet towel. So you reach, and then we reach higher, reach a little higher to create some space in our spines, and then everybody does this, kinder all the way, yes, through 5th grade. We put our hands together, we bring it gently down to our hearts, and then we say, I love you, namaste. And that's how we start. And if I ever skip it, they let me know.
Talk about your yoga on Thursdays. So we have she has an extra class time on Thursdays. So talk about how those students are chosen for your 30 minutes of yoga on Thursday.
Those students are typically chosen by classroom teachers. Sometimes I'll choose them. They'll come up to me and ask to be in it. They're kids that are generally having a tough time adjusting in school. They don't want to be here. Like I said, they haven't eaten, they haven't slept, they just don't feel right. They feel like they don't belong. So we started a yoga group, and we do, it's a half hour, so I run through, I've been practicing for a long time, so I know a lot of different poses, but I found a good thing that works all the muscle groups, works your core, but it also, the piece with yoga is great, is the mindfulness, the breathing. So we're not just being a robot doing it. We're not doing it to get into the pose. It's about staying in the pose. And it's about getting back into the pose when you fall out. So it's okay. And that little guy there, he's not little, he's 5th grade. He was when...
We've had him since kindergarten, and such a transformation with him, academically, behavior, and how he's coming out of his shell. But go on and talk to him.
I was going to say, he's what we call the heavy hitter. He was really tough, didn't want to be in the classroom, was just resistant to everything. So I started a check-in system with him in second, I think it was second. And so we've kind of built a relationship over the years. And now he's been in a couple of my groups, maybe 3, and last year too. In his classroom's been a little chaotic. When it does get chaotic, he goes up and he does my yoga sequence, and he does my mindfulness with the kids, and they call it Breathing with the Marian. That's his name. So he's a rock star.
So thank you. I was shopping a couple weeks ago and found this for her. I think it's perfect. Yoga for life.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Holmes.
Thank you.
Visit Gregory anytime. Thank you.
All righty. Give Connor a minute to take that microphone away. Thank you, sir. Well, that was wonderful. And thank you for sharing. We're now at the petitions and communication portion of our meeting, where we invite the public to make comments. The board will not respond to comments at this time. If it's appropriate, you'll be contacted in a timely manner by staff. Each speaker will be allowed no more than 2 minutes to address the board. It's not appropriate to address individual board members or individual administrators, or to discuss matters that would otherwise be confidential in such open meetings. If you look up to your left, you'll see 2 digital clocks. One shows the time allotted to total time allotted to public comment, and the other is your speaking time. Thank you for your interest and for your cooperation with our guidelines. And we have just one speaker this meeting, and that is Fanny Owens. And yeah, that would be perfect. And that probably needs to be turned on. Not yet. Can you turn something on?
I had to hit the button. I should know. Hi, I'm Fanny Owens, and I'm with Eliminate Racism and NAACP. And some years back, we've always talked about having the diversity training, because sometimes I think it can help you assimilate. It might include people who have their ethnicity, their gender, their sexual orientation, social, economic status, mental health, religious belief, and political belief. But why would you ask that we want that? Because it also empowers children. We have seen an increase in public schools, whereas minority students are now becoming the majority. This is also a phenomenon in our own city of Rockford. Studies have shown diversity training for teachers will help all students become aware and become more understanding of people from various backgrounds when they enter the workplace and become productive citizens. Employers are in need of people who are able to communicate with persons from diverse backgrounds. Diversity training hopefully will help create a culturally sensitive environment, whereas students can learn about their own community and others living in their surrounding areas. Perhaps diversity training will help students share their own ethnic and cultural background. Training could also help students respect each other's custom, language, and other ways they are different, but has the same goal in mind. We should always try to develop high expectation of all students in their learning performance. Have a curriculum that mandates inclusion and students by assisting and assuring them of always doing their best. Other services to students, and the superintendent talked about that at the last meeting we had at the Stockholm, how services are being available. So I think that's fine. And I'm so impressed with the Marsh and Gregory. My daughter went to Gregory years ago, and how new innovations and just new things will help people breathe and feel more relaxed. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any board member comments? David.
Thank you. As a parent and, a lover of public education, it's really hard not to try and contemplate where people in Texas are feeling after the shooting at Robb Elementary School today. I know I can't possibly fathom what they are feeling, what they're thinking, but certainly I'm sure all of our thoughts are with them and for them, about them, and hope that there is some peace in that community to follow soon.
Thank you, David. Yeah, I just saw a feed that said they're up to 19 deaths. Mr. Rollins.
I think they're actually up to 21 deaths. I was going to say something along the same lines and just say, you know, this is really probably the worst job of being part of the job of being a school board member, is knowing that you bear some responsibility for the safety of the children in the school district, and knowing some of that is outside your control. I do want to just emphasize to the community, we did a comprehensive security audit. I thought it was a few years ago. I was reminded recently it was in 2015, and we have been implementing that, and we are in the process of soon restarting that process and updating that security audit. So it is something that we take seriously. But as with everything else, there's only certain things that are within our control, and you know, it's a multifaceted problem, and you know, it's something that I think as a society and a community, we need to start figuring out how to change this, you know, how to change this dynamic. It's really awful to me that one of our primary concerns has to be keeping kids safe from active shooters, that our kids and my kids have to go through drills, and our staff have to go through drills. It's not going to change. That's where we're at, and that's just not going to change. But my thoughts also go out to the people in Texas.
Any other comments? All right. I'm going to give the floor to the superintendent for his comments. I'm going to
keep my remarks extremely brief this evening, but I do want to recognize one of our longtime art teachers. We didn't mention Lynn Stockton from Jefferson, who has left the building, but I want to pass on just my appreciation. I have a chance to visit her students' annual show really regularly, and I had a chance to get a kind of a student-guided tour again this year, and some of those very students were recognized this evening for their excellence. So I did want to make sure we gave Lynn a shout-out as well. Wonderful to see the National Merit Scholars, our life-saving teacher, and bowling recognition as well. But so it was a really, really nice night for recognitions. And speaking of student recognition, I want to thank Ben Beachy for 3 years of service on the SSAC. Little known fact about Ben, the reason he was having such a hard time coming is because Ben is a 7-sport athlete at East High School this year. So this is a person that takes the act of being a student athlete extremely seriously, along with being a 3-year member of the SSAC. And so while Ben didn't get the opportunity to speak or to observe 2 board meetings before speaking, I did want to make sure Ben had an opportunity to share some of his experiences as a 3-year SSAC member. With the board this evening, I think student voice is always a good thing to elevate. So Ben, the floor is yours, and thank you for your service to the SSAC.
Thank you, Dr. Jarrett. So as Dr. Jarrett said, I've been a member of the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, SSAC, for the past 3 years. And so I decided to use my time tonight, since I'm finished with SSAC, to talk about a quick recap of what I experienced over those past 3 years. So I got to experience SSAC in the pre-COVID world for about 8 months of my sophomore year. And in that time, we were able to do multiple food and toy drives. We hosted a lot of school-wide district events, like the district dodgeball tournament, which was my personal favorite, as well as connect to the Rockford community through events like Stroll on State, where we helped set up and take down decorations, and we got to march in the parade. We had multiple events planned my sophomore year for the sophomore year spring, like the Wesley Willows senior prom, where we we're planning to throw a prom for the members at Wesley Willows. And we had a district-wide talent show that we were planning, where students were going to be able to showcase their unique talents. But unfortunately, COVID happened, and neither of those events were canceled. So then moving on to my junior and senior year, finding new large events were very difficult because of the COVID restrictions, but we're able to persevere through and find some unique stuff. We kept the tour and food drives the same, which was pretty fun. We were still able to volunteer at the Freshman Academy Expo, which was a great way to start the year. We kept the dodgeball tournament the same, which was fun. And we still were able to participate in Stroll on State. But we also found some new activities, like raising money to buy supplies for the Boys and Girls Club of Rockford, where we were able to donate $500 worth of school supplies to them this fall. We found some more food banks we were able to volunteer at, and this year we also got to participate in the Illinois State Board of Education luncheon, which was a unique experience. The experience of being on SSAC is one I am incredibly grateful for, and I will never forget. I was able to grow as a leader and connect to the Rockford community and the school community through ways that I would not have previously been able to do so. And I would like to thank Dr. Jarrett for starting the council and keeping it going even through the COVID times. I would like to thank Ms. Laumer for being a great advisor for us this year. And I'm excited to see what the future of SSAC holds, even though I will not be on it. I'll be proud to say I was a member of it, and I'll always be proud to say I was a lifelong RPS 205 member. So thank you very much.
I want to thank Ben for his service and sharing his experiences. We are in the process of selecting next year's group, and really proud of the work our principals have done to create a really collaborative, outstanding group of young leaders that I think really do represent the diversity of our community, representing all of our high schools. And Ben, great to have you here this evening, and I also want to thank Mrs. Laumer, who has been the advisor and who does the real heavy lifting of organizing the group. I have a chance to talk about really important policy issues with the students. They always have helped me improve as a leader, and it's one of multiple student groups I've had the chance to listen to over the course of the year, but this is a group that is certainly helpful in advising me to be a better policymaker. So thank you to Ben and all of our student representatives who had the chance to present. We'll have a new group that will be representing the board next year. So thank you.
Ben, why don't you tell us what you're going to do?
So in the fall, I will be attending the University of Dubuque to become a pilot.
Oh, excellent. Are you the juggler, or is that your brother?
I'm a magician.
You're a magician.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
And you did that for us at for Rockford Promise.
I did for many years, yeah.
Yes, you did. So thank you for that as well.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Magician. All right. We're now on the consent portion of our meeting, including the items previewed by the board committee chairs during the committee of the whole. The consent agenda from performance and monitoring include payroll, accounts payable, purchase orders for fiscal year 22, purchase order for fiscal year 23, air travel, construction pay request log, monthly cash and investment report for April of 2022, financial results for April of 2022, Rockford University Education Pathway contract extension, Rockford Park District Summer Sports Camp, IFB 2245 for West Middle School roofing, IFB 2248 OSC electrical build out of the print shop, IFB 2249 for the administration building lower level renovations. The consent items from the governance committee include the meeting minutes from 5:10 and 4:30, which was our board retreat, contracts purchase orders for fiscal year 22, contracts purchase orders for fiscal year 23, workers' compensation settlement agreement for RJ, and the Freedom of Information log. I'd entertain a motion in a second to approve the consent items.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any consent items board members wish to have pulled for separate consideration? Seeing no lights, I'll ask the coordinator to call the roll on consent agenda items 7 and 8.
Ms. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
The motion passes with 5 yeses, 2 absent.
Thank you. We'll move on to the closed session consent agenda. This includes the appointment of Amber Lee Black as a 10-month assistant principal at Roosevelt, the appointment of Maureen Jackson as a 10-month assistant principal at Lathrop, the HR organizational report and addendum, as well as the following student discipline cases. 4514, the expulsion is held in abeyance through the entire 22-23 school year in the student's own school. In addition, the student is referred to the refresh program. 4515 is expelled for 2 calendar years from the date of board action through May 24th of 2024. 4516 is expelled through the end of the 21-22 school year. 4517 is expelled through the end of the 22-23 school year. 4518 is expelled through the end of the 22-23 school year. 4519, the expulsion is held in abeyance contingent upon an expulsion and abeyance agreement through the end of the 22-23 school year. 4520 is expelled through the end of the 22-23 calendar year. 4523 is expelled through the end of the 22-23 calendar year. It should be school year. Yeah, I was going to say, why do we have that? So 4520 is through 22-23 school year. 4523 is through the school year. 4524 is expelled to the end of the 22-23 school year. 4525 is expelled through the end of the 22-23 school year. 4526 is expelled through the end of the 22-23 school year. 4527 is expelled through the end of the 22-23 school year. 4528 is expelled through the first semester of the 22-23 school year. 4529, the expulsion is held in abeyance contingent upon an expulsion and abeyance agreement through the entire 22-23 school year. 4530 is expelled through the first semester of the 22-23 calendar school year. 5016, the 3-day suspension is affirmed. We are also voting to support the following EIAs. 1115, 1117, 1118, 1119, 1120, 1121, 8549, 8557, 8574, 8576, 8577, 8578, 8579, 8580, 8581, 8582, 8583, 8584, 8585, 8586, 8587, 8588, 8589, 8590, 8591, 8593, 8594, 8595, 8596, 8597, 8598, and 8599. I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve the closed session agenda items.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any closed session consent items board members wish to have pulled for separate consideration? Ms. Pearson?
Yes. 4514, 4515, 4517, 4523, 5016.
Thank you. Are there any other agenda items board members wish to have pulled? Seeing no lights, I'll ask the coordinator to call the roll on the closed session consent items that have not been pulled.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Pearson?
Yes.
The motion passes with 5 yeses, 2 absent.
Thank you. Ms. Pearson, can I take those as a group? Would you like them done individually?
You can take them as a group.
Okay, thank you. So I'd entertain a motion in a second to approve the following discipline cases: 4514, 4515, 4517, 4523, and 5016.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Will the coordinator please call the roll?
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Pearson?
No.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
The motion passes with 4 yeses, 1 no, 2 absent.
Thank you. Do any of the board members have any action steps that they wish to bring forward to the board at this time? Ms. Pearson?
That was an accident.
Oh, okay, no problem. Seeing no lights, I don't think. Okay, I would like to remind board members that you have your exit slip summary in your folder. If you fill that out and hand it to Ms. Hoadley before you leave, then you don't have to worry about it. It's all done. And she will take care of that for us. So if there's no further comments or agenda recommendations by any of the board, I'll take a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Same sign. We are adjourned at 7:51 p.m.